Critters in Taiwan.
I thought it was really, really cool how I did not expect the Aisho people of Japanese. No, Japanese pulled from Japanese culture. My brain glitched there for a second. I wasn't expecting that.
The ones that came up and with the arrows?
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, when he started speaking their language, I was like, oh, that sounds very, very, very Japanese. And then, yeah, sure enough, the chat was like, hey, that's Japanese. Matt learned Japanese. That's cool. I was like, that's neat. That's fun.
Doesn't he speak some Japanese or something?
Apparently he does. He spent a lot of time there, so doing VO stuff. So I guess so. But somebody on chat recognized it right away, and they actually translated it. I didn't write it down. But they're like, yeah, no, he's actually speaking Japanese. And so that's really cool. That was neat. I enjoyed that little part.
Oh, it's easy to forget that it's 10:10 today.
Oh yeah. Is it 10 o'clock? It's not 10 o'clock yet. I guess it doesn't matter.
But I can see fireworks from my window.
Hey, happy birthday, Taiwan.
Happy birthday, Taiwan. It looks kind of nice if that building wasn't being built right there. Yeah, I kind of forgot it was this holiday because like the street apparently is a huge thoroughfare to get to that big old park that's just that new park over there. And that's where they're doing this from. Sure.
Yeah, I'm betting it'll start here soon too.
7:40. Sure. Huh. Yeah, I thought they would start at 10. Don't they? I mean,
don't they start at 10:10 on 10:10?
It seems that, I mean, maybe it's too late for some people at 7:40. What the hell is this?
I don't know.
All right, guys, 7:40 sharp. Ready?
Go.
Anyway, hey, we're online.
We're online?
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the line?
Yeah, just the one.
just the one line. Welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. I am Ben and Gaoshan.
I'm Tim and Taijong.
We're Critters in Taiwan, and I don't know about you, man, but this has been a long holiday weekend.
Yeah.
It's been a long one. Yeah. I had a good time until it wasn't a good time anymore.
So you had to bomb your apartment. For
had a little visit from the Popo this weekend. Not a bad thing, Mom. If you're listening, it's okay. The government came in and insecticide bombed our apartment because there's cases of dengue in the neighborhood. It was unpleasant. Let me lift this up here. How's that? Is that a little better?
Much better.
That's how you're supposed to use microphones, right? Like this. A
little higher. If you kind of turn it sideways too, like this.
Fuck you.
Shit, now mine's all fucked up. Lazy girl, she's getting a little diva-y.
Yeah, well,
it's always sitting within the camera shot here on the couch.
Hey man, it's been a long weekend. I'm tired. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do these dishes. Yeah. Tonight we're talking about episode number 74 of Campaign 3, Bell's Hells, in the Shattered Teeth, on the island of Uthadern. Nope, that's not there. No, Uthbridge. Nope, that's a place in Ontario.
This is a really long title.
Scheisen. I don't remember the name of the island. Cool. Yeah, no idea. Cool. Episode number 74, Roots Between Worlds.
Roots Between Worlds. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, basically what happened. Yep.
It kind of was. There's a bunch of stuff that happened. They met the tree. Ooh. That was a weird tree. I was not expecting that kind of a tree.
What do you mean? Like,
I was expecting, I'll be honest, I was expecting a tree. Part of me was expecting another tree like the one that they found in the valley, the gray valley, where when they went to find the perennium flower. Right. There's the emerald tree. It was like this big tree made out of emerald stone or gemstone or whatever, quartz, green quartz or whatever it was. Part of me was expecting some weird twist like that. This was an actual tree, but in a chasm. It was a little strange.
Yeah, a strange chasm between worlds, between planes or whatever.
Yeah, like he was saying, my roots dig deep into the, blah blah blah. I get it. What did he say? My roots dig deep into the skeen. I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, it was. It's interesting how they got there.
Yeah.
It's just like a chasm. I like that. If I remember correctly, FCG flipped the coin. It was like, if I jump in here, am I gonna die? And it was just like, nope, or
nope.
like, I'll live? Be like, yep. Just a straight answer from the coin.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that yes or no question coin toss thing. I love that Matt. He's like, I love how Sam picks up the coin. He's like, I'm gonna flip this coin. I'm gonna change the spell a little bit. I'm gonna choose if it's heads or tails. All right. And Matt's like, or you could just say is heads, yes. Yeah. Then that, and that's how you word the question. There. And Matt's just like, why? How are you so bad at logic?
Like, I'm gonna choose if it's. Yeah. Why do you flip a coin? Why don't you just tell me the answer you want, even if it's wrong?
Right. It just okay. This would be the proper phrasing. I love how the little bit of rules lawyer creeps in and just says, "No, that's not how this works, man. We can bend stuff around and have some fun with it, but yeah."
Yeah, I think when he said that, he was kind of realizing that that's, flip a coin, be like, it's heads, be like, well, that means yes, I guess. Then like, your coin doesn't actually work with this fictitious god.
Right. Yeah. That was a good episode. I enjoyed this one. They're finally going through the Shattered Tree. They do the trek to the first mountain, going through, get some encounters and stuff, and then they get there and have a giant, massive lore dump.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of
smooth crooning voice at the end that I had a hard time not nodding off to.
There was a very much, you could feel the Treebeard from the Lord of the Rings. There was very much that vibe going on. I wrote this down and I was going to bring it up later, but I'm going to bring it up now.
Go for it.
Some of Matt's best work. I mean, what Matt really does so well is his descriptors of things and places and events.
Fine details, yeah.
This one got me. The way he described the tree and the eyes, the milky eyes popping up, and then the long fingers reaching out, and then the smeared face all gnarled. Everything that he was saying about how that was, I instantly got it. It was clear as day in my mind what this place looked like and what this tree looked like and what Bell's Hells looked like standing there. And in my mind, I have a picture that I don't think any fan art will ever capture as well. I don't think so.
Unless you did it.
I can't draw stick figures.
Unfortunate how many people are out there with these nice images. We don't get to see them.
Listen, man, if people could draw what is in my brain, they'd have a couple of nickels anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if it works that way.
I don't know. Hey, should we do some rollies?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I rolled a lot of dice today. I played D&D today. It was great.
Oh, geez.
Played D&D today. It was great.
Not
it was
good. Not D.
That was a good way to end. To cap off a long weekend. It was nice.
That wasn't at your place, was it?
It was here. Yeah, it was here. Over the table over there. It was nice. I got to sit at the other side of the DM screen and roll some dice for my little gnome arcane trickster. We found our DM gave us a hat of disguise a bunch of sessions ago, and I really used it heavily. And I got to do a bunch of leadership stuff and be the face for a little while, which is a terrible idea because my character has an 8 charisma. It's like when it's with a negative modifier. So when
-1, right?
It's a -1, yeah. So when it's like when Yasha in campaign 2 was doing the being the face of the party and how she was Ashley was really playing up that whole, yes, I am very sure of this and I like you too, and that's how I was sort of taking some inspiration from trying to be super uncharismatic and awkward. And he the DM was very, very gracious and giving me disadvantage on almost every check. It was great. It was good.
Nice.
It was quite nice.
8's not that bad, just a little below average.
No,
you know?
but we're at level 7. When every roll is like with things you're good at or in the high teens, low 20s. It's like, yeah, I'm rolling like I rolled a 2 on one of them, so that's a 1. I didn't roll any negative. I couldn't get negative. I could get a 0. So yeah, it was bad.
Pulling off the big ones. What is it? Right. Wow, that's kind of long, actually. 8 minutes going. Oh,
somebody's big show.
They spare no expense. All right, you might win a lot here because my Ford die won.
Again, eh? All right, well, let's see what happens.
Well, with a 7, I don't know.
I got an 18.
All right, well.
I might swap out those dice at some point. I've been rolling these. No, I'll keep them. I'm going to hang on to these dice for this whole thing. See if I can wear them out. I've never worn out a dice before. Just a die before.
Keep using them until they keep rolling ones.
I'm going to jump to a very, very pressing issue in this one. At the about 1 hour, 20 minute mark.
Timestamp, Dave.
FCG, this is a very important part in the show. FCG decided to open up his hot hole and put some fish inside and then season it with cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar, and other things, maybe some butter or motor oil, we're not sure.
A little bit of salt.
No, he said he didn't use any salt. It was all just cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar, butter, and motor oil.
Orem said, what about just salt? And he's like, we use salt in baking, sure.
Sure. That doesn't mean he used it.
Oh, yeah, not necessarily.
But I thought it was pretty funny that he was like, do I know how long it would be? And Matt was like, I don't know. What do you think? He's like, well, can I scan my memory banks? And he rolls for it. And then he's like, I don't know what he rolled.
I think he got a 9, I believe.
Something like that. And it was like, you have no idea. They just fake it. And Sam's like, okay, 2 hours then. And it's like, I'm like, it's basically being described as an easy bake oven. Mm-hmm. That's a 100-watt light bulb. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make enough heat to do anything. That's why it takes like 8 hours for him to make a batch of cookies. Narratively, mechanically, the chef feat allows you to make a number, it's like level plus wisdom modifier or something, or just maybe your wisdom modifier or your spellcasting modifier. It's a feat. Yeah, he took the chef feat. We talked about this a number of episodes ago. It's what they call a half feat. It gives you a small little thing and an ability score bump. So he got a +1 to his con, maybe, or a +1 to his wisdom. I forget what it is. I have to look it up. He gets a +1 to one of his scores, the one he chose, and he gets this ability to make these little treats, which bump up temporary hit points for anybody who consumes them. But he's only allowed to make a number of them per 8 hours. That means he bakes a bunch of cookies, like 6 or something, every 8 hours. He bakes cookies. So it takes 8 hours to bake a cookie. It takes like 9 minutes to bake cookies in an oven. So if he's using this tiny little thing, Matt's like, okay, after 2 hours, you get a batch of fine fish jerky. Yep. I'm sorry, Matt, but 2 hours is still slimy fish after 2 hours, after in an easy bake oven. It's not even warm. It's barely warm. It won't be jerky. It takes days. It takes roughly, in a big oven at about 75 degrees, you need about 4 or 5 hours. But this is a little tiny oven. It would take days in there to make steak. A very good jerky recipe. South Africans make very good jerky, and they use light bulbs. They use a drying box. They take a cardboard box and they seal it, and they put a light bulb over top of it. They hang their strips of antelope or whatever, sometimes cow, but usually antelope of some kind, kudu being the primary one that they love to use. They dry it for about 10 days in this dry box, and then they take it out and they call it biltong, and it's delicious. But it takes 10 days. Yep. 2 hours does not make fish jerky, Matthew Mercer. Pay attention.
No, it doesn't. But that feed is confusing because I've only seen this on FCG because I haven't seen a whole lot of D&D. But what is a chef gonna do? FCG can just do it anywhere. Is that the perk?
Well, he's got that arcane power core inside of him, right? So he got I
So it
think
makes
it was
sense that he would use the
it
chef
was in
perk
EOS.
or feat.
It was in EOS when he went to see that colleague of Imahara Joe's, or I forget who it got so long ago. He found that tinkerer of some kind, and they gave him it was with Frida, and they gave him the armor, the upgraded armor, and the little mechanical easy bake oven that is basically like a little salamander. You just slide in little broiler right over top of the arcane core. It gets it nice and warm. He bakes his cookies and treats in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it takes like 8 hours to do that. So
yeah, well, I mean, with the chef feat, if anybody had a chef's feat, how would it work for them? They like if they're at a long rest or something like that.
Yeah, they would do it at a long rest. Yeah, they would be like, we have a little fire. We have a fire, or even like you get super creative about it. You could be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and during this long rest, and I'm going to make some granola. I'm going to make some muesli. I'm going to make some vegetable spring rolls of some kind. You get to make these little treats and infuse them with some kind of magical essence or some sort of. You could RP this 1,000 different ways. You could say that if you were a ranger with the chef feat, you could go out and forage, collect things, go out and hunt, and the things you brought back would give everybody because you went and found the best foraged foods, these amazingly juicy berries or mints and leaves and roots, and who knows, you make boba or something weird. It doesn't have to be cooking, it could also be just gathering. So you're feeding people and supplying them with temporary hit points with this feat.
Right. It just takes
there's 1,000
passive 8 hours to do it.
Yeah. I think it's 8 hours. Once every long rest. So whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know. Like with the hot
I just want to say that
fish hole.
The hot hole smells like fish.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Matt getting up and leaving the table does the lap. I was like, that's a first. I don't remember him ever getting up and leaving like that.
I think it's happened, but
feels like it's
not like the lap around.
Not in recent memory.
No,
he may have
like
got up out of the chair and just
something.
sort of stood up for a second, but not to actually pick up his cup and to take off. I was like, I thought he was walking away. And then Travis was like, okay, yeah, just take a lap around the table. He just walked around.
I mean, Travis also, he's just like, Jesus.
Yeah, to everybody. Yep. Man, anyway, that's my first point for tonight's episode because it made me laugh and then I got confused.
I'm going to jump in on this one here. I need some clarification, man.
I got a lot of info in my brain about this episode, so maybe I can help.
Okay, well, I'm going to try this because it's getting real hot in here.
Getting hot in here.
Sweating. Maybe it's picking up on the camera or not.
I got a big fan blasting right at me here and one behind me.
Yeah, if I had a bigger room, I'd put a fan in here, but it's kind of noisy. But so is the AC.
I can't hear it.
All right. Maybe it's just because there were 2 weeks off that I don't remember some of these things or one of these things. This amulet, where did they find it? I don't remember.
Last week they found it in what was that worm thing that they fought? The two-headed worm thing.
Okay, right.
That it was the worm. They
had a nest.
Had a nest, and it was in there. And then, if you remember, they pulled it out. They didn't recognize it. And if you remember, Chet did his grim psychometry on it, and on the amulet.
And it's also an amulet too, right?
Well, it's a stone. It's like the way Matt described it is like a small stone, and it's inside of a little gilded cage. So it's like this amulet with a stone inside, and all over the stone are all of these runes inscribed on it. And that was a fun one because it made me smile because Laudna went back. And it was really funny how she swapped out the Eldritch Invocation to go back to Eyes of the Runekeeper, and how she tried to justify it narratively to be like, yes, Delilah has been talking to me again, and I've got this, and then it was like then the meta comes out. It's like, just you can narratively RP those bits to the point of exhaustion because it's like, okay, just let it go and move on. Don't worry about it so much.
That's when she just addressed the camera and be like, I switched some things.
I switched them exactly. She realized the futility of it. Okay, this is going to be weird now. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so
Liam's
she does that, and
like, why'd you just say that to that tree? Anyway.
Yeah. she gets to read all of the things, and it said some interesting stuff. It wasn't anything like earth-shattering or that, but it gave them a name. It gave them the name,
like the name of the
owner,
a couple of kids.
Yeah.
Like Chicago and someone else.
Yeah.
And it came up later with the that band of people that came through, the band of Japanese folks. Aishio. Oh, yeah. That didn't register in the beginning as coming off as Japanese.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
It didn't come off as Japanese to me. This whole thing didn't. That's why I was sort of out of left field. I was like, oh, but there's a bit of it that kind of makes sense, like the fact that if you look at ancient Japanese cultures with with those long bows and the stealthing around and that kind of a culture, they're like, okay, that's cool. I get it. That's sort of it's a good pull. I like that.
Yeah, I recently finished Ghost of Tsushima. Recently, that's set in one of those old things. Whenever that island was under attack or whatever. They also mentioned that. They said, "Oh yeah, that era Thule shoes, whatever that name is, Iffy something, perhaps named after Iffy. What's his name?
Yep."
They said, "Oh yeah, this belonged to this person's father," And then when they all left, they were like, "Wait, didn't they say that belonged to a father?" But it said two kids' names, and Matthew was like, "Didn't ask."
Yeah, they're gone. I know they're gone. Wait, no, they're gone. Yeah. So, that was good. It was funny. He gets his hair cut and he gets a little snippy. I think he feels the loss of his.
He got a haircut. Is that what happened?
You didn't notice?
Not until now.
All right. Yeah. No. He got a haircut and it was. You could see the energy was a little odd. But no, I'm literally just putting things together to make nonsense.
Well, he has said before, it's like, I want to keep it long, and then they cut it like this. Was that in campaign 1 or something?
Yeah. He was upset about that. I just on that same note of that thing, the amulet. I there was this weird thing that they did, and they do it every once in a while, and it drives me kind of bonkers because it's unnecessarily complicated. So she swaps out. Marisha swaps out that Eldritch Invocation, reads the thing off of it, and then a full day goes by and they take their long rest. And then during that long rest, Matt starts rolling dice and he's like, okay, and Laudna, you take 9 necrotic damage, and Orem, you take 6 necrotic damage, and blah, blah, blah. And as they're doing that, they're like, wait, but why? Oh, no, hang on a second. I leveled up, so I have this. And it's like, I didn't level up, but you did level up, so I get, and then Matt's like, oh yeah, and also you get 3 Eldritch Blasts now. And they're like, what? I'm like, okay, did they level up or didn't they? Because if they didn't level up, if they had the previous amount of hit points, which they did, or they didn't have those hit points, when you level up, you go back up to max hit points. That's my point.
Okay.
And she didn't. She was like, okay, I'm going to minus 9 hit points, but it's weird because I had so many hit points before I leveled up, so do I take those off there? And there was this whole argument and discussion. But I'm like, yeah, except an hour ago in the stream, you were using your new Eldritch Invocation from that level up. So
she was doing 3?
No, she read the runes on the thing, which she couldn't have been able to do unless she leveled up.
Right.
And so an hour later, then she starts like, well, did we level up or not? I'm like, well, you
that's
couldn't.
What this confusion was. I didn't know what the hubbub was about.
Right. And I'm like, but you could. Well, no, they never talked about that. I was saying that. I'm like, you shouldn't have been able to read those things if you didn't level up. So if you level up or you didn't? Because if you did, then there should be no confusion. But if you didn't, then you shouldn't have been able to read those runes.
Right.
That's all.
If you did level up, then you're at new maximum hit points.
You should be at new max hit points, and it should just be minus 9. I think that's why Sam was like, just minus 9 hit points.
Yeah, I think he said it like 2-3 times.
Just don't worry about it.
I think Travis said it too. Just take the hit. Let's move forward.
Yeah, just take the hit. It's okay. Move on. Those sorts of things are really, really important at lower levels. Not so much now. This was like a little encounter built to sort of test you and confuse you guys, not to quibble about where things go. I'm not trying to diminish things because that's not what it's coming off as. And it's like you're just unnecessarily complicating things.
Yeah,
that's all.
And also, and I guess this is one of the things I wrote here. If you're taking damage during a long rest, I mean, it doesn't really matter unless you don't get healed or you get interrupted.
Get the long rest. Yeah.
So when that started coming up, and I was like, okay, something's about to happen right now, which was kind of a giveaway. After I wrote it down, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that was just a little tell. But then also nothing to worry about. It's 9 points.
No,
and you figure it out later. And yeah, she already She did the rune read before.
Earlier in the day.
Way before that.
Yeah, way before that. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
So that's my point. There was like a little bit of confusion, and then like she was like, okay, no, it's okay. I swapped out my Eldritch Invocation, so now I can read things. Right. Okay, so that means you did level up. And on the topic of leveling up, that was even more confusing because the whole leveling up video they didn't post. They posted it on Twitter instead, and I was watching it. And I was trying to figure. I think I was texting you last week about that. I'm like, oh, they leveled up. That's cool. But I have no idea what they did. And I watched the video, and I still don't know what they did. So FCG was pretty straightforward. It's on Twitter. FCG is easy to figure out. Ashton's easy to figure out. Orem is easy to figure out because they all just take straight up levels. But Fern did a weird thing. Hey, should we roll or just talk?
Go, just talk.
Okay.
I've only got 2 left.
Fern did a couple of weird things. I was trying to figure this one out. She took that level in Rogue. And I get it because that gives you the kind of... So she's at
3 now, right?
She's 2. This is level... this was her second level. Yeah, we talked about this one a while ago too, but there was some confusion about her having... But she was like, I'm going to take my second level in Rogue so I get these... the cunning action, which is huge for a Rogue. For a Druid, it would have been better for her to carry on with her next level of Wildfire Circle because it gives a really, really big bonus for healing or hurting with fire. And so that would have been a little bit better than taking that the cunning action. I understand the need for narratively, I want to be able to do these other things, but it's tough.
Maybe do that first and then come back and do this,
Yeah, or revisit it next level and then even see if you want to do it then. I just think it's
like a video game.
I love that they're playing more with their heart than their mind. I've always loved that about this troop. I think it's a big key to their success. They're not min-maxing. They're not metagaming that much. They're really playing with fun and first and foremost, and that's awesome. But there is a point where you sort of have to go, that's not really, like, is it ever even going to get used? Because those cunning actions are really designed for rogues in combat, and she doesn't play like a rogue in combat. So I felt it was kind of a missed opportunity. That's all. That's the little bit of a power gamer in me talking. So
I think we mentioned this before. When do you get sneak attack?
1.
You get being a rogue. You get sneak attack.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Does she ever get it?
Mm-mm.
Is anybody ever flanking and she takes advantage of it?
Maybe you do get sneak attack at 2. I forget. God, it's been so long since I've been low level. I don't remember.
Yeah. God, those fireworks are still going, man.
That's cool.
It's been
probably a lot of
27 minutes so far.
Well, yeah, it's probably different ones. It's probably not the same place.
The huge ones in the park,
Maybe.
man.
It is the birthday, so yeah, it could be. Could be.
But yeah, it could be neighborhoods. I'm not sure, but I can still see.
And then what was the other one? Oh, and Laudna took a level in Sorcerer, which was really smart. Imogen took a level in Sorcerer. Chetney stuck with... I'm not sure. I looked. I didn't... I saw that Imogen would get something big. I forget what it is. But I think 6th level spell. And I think FCG gets 6th level spell as well. Which he used right off the bat. That was a heartbreaker. I'm really, really happy that they realized how broken Find the Path is. I have a long history with that spell, and it's nothing but frustration. I do not like that spell either. It's bad. It's poorly worded. It's not good. It's a waste. It is not a good spell. And it's terrible that it's 6. I recommend to all gamers out there just to stay away. Don't even contemplate it. Leave it alone.
I remember
it's not good.
The number of times, what was it? Jester trying to use it?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I want to find find the path, whatever. And it's
Well,
like,
it's
right, well,
funny
what do you
because
use to find the path? It's like, I've never been there before. That's why
way-
I need to find the path.
the way it's worded is so terrible, and it comes from older editions, and they've tried to fix it. I remember like Pathfinder is literally like that find the path is in Pathfinder. Find the path, Pathfinder,
Makes sense.
and whatever. And it's even worse in Pathfinder. It's like it's even a worse spell. It does things that it just the way it's worded. I think it's game designers thinking that this is a broken spell. It just lets everybody just skip things, and it's a DM's bane, and they would hate it. But it shouldn't be. It should be. It's a 6th level spell. It's a huge spell, especially at these low levels. When they first get it, it's going to be super helpful, and they've wasted a massive resource just to try to get to a place. So it's like it doesn't make like resource management comes into play at these levels big time, and to throw away a 6th level spell just to get to a place you're trying to get to is huge, because you're still going to encounter stuff along the way, and now you're without a 6th level spell. You're going to get to the big bad, thematically probably, and you're going to not have a 6th level spell. That's huge for a DM. Like it doesn't make any sense the way they word it.
Huh. Yeah, so the way that Laura was saying it, that has merit.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have something from the place.
That's even worse, because why would you ever want to find the path to a place you already know?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's so silly.
I think I remember her forgetting that so many times in the last campaign that she was like,
it's very frustrating. It's like
that spell is so shitty.
This goes along with the whole scry and fry idea, where you can scry on somebody and then you teleport in and blast them.
What?
Like that's well, they call it scry and fry.
Oh, because like now that you've seen the place, you can teleport there.
Yes, exactly. It's called it's a way to cheese the game. When you're at higher level, everyone's just like, okay, guys, prep your actions. Wizard, get your fireball ready. Cleric, get your meteor swarm ready. Rogue, get your sneak attack ready with your poison arrows and poison daggers or whatever. And then every barbarian, rage, and teleport. And then everybody releases the action on the guy, and then you've got a massive sneak attack round on them, and you take half their hit points away in the first immediate contact.
How do you get around it?
DMs just don't let it happen.
You're like, no, you can't do that. You can't.
You can't. Yeah. It's. Yeah.
It came up a little bit when they were like, what if I fly up there and then I can see it? You know, can I teleport to that spot that I can see? And Matthew was like, well, you know, it can make it easier for you to teleport there, but it's not like it's automatic. Especially with that. I don't know if it's different as using the stick or using the staff or using a spell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know these things, man. I don't.
Okay, shall we do some rollies?
We're back to rolling.
Yeah, let's roll it.
That was a big. I
said a bunch of stuff, and I should probably get off this negative train because I'm a little bit grumpy and a little bit tired.
Ooh, 18.
I got a 14.
Hey, I'm gonna go back to a little bit of clarification here.
All right, do it.
I believe I'm getting this word right. The ascended host.
Yeah.
What do we know about this? I felt like it was a new term, and I started thinking of lewdness.
It came up a couple of episodes ago. They know that the ascended host is what's left of the population of Dominus. That they are the ones that are left over, and they're like they're the civilization that came out of the calamity. After when the smile was broken into the shattered teeth.
I think you're talking about the cult of the ascended host.
No, I'm talking about the ascended host.
Because there's a cult there too. He said, like, is it gone? Or it's like, well, you never heard of it being like the old past of these people. Because he mentioned that from Orm's history roll.
That was something different. The ascended host is the civilization that is on the shattered teeth. They're the ones that make up all of these peoples that live here.
Okay.
That's why they're it's like the Dwendalian Empire is a giant collective of a whole bunch of different peoples, and they're all of the Empire.
That raises the question what the cult he was talking about is then.
I remember that vaguely. That was something different.
Because host, it's a strange name for a community or collective folk.
So is all minds burn, and like those
at least
those sort of
plural in it.
All right, sure.
Ascended host. Can the host be? Well, I don't know. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't
Yeah.
clarify
There was
a whole lot for me. Now I'm a little bit more confused.
there was
I
a
had.
cult. I don't remember who they were.
Because I thought it was there's ascended host, and then the people that were kind of supporting them was the cult of the ascended host. That's what it was. Well, now I'm more confused, or less knowing what's going on out there. I don't know if anybody catch that, get in touch down there. If you
Yeah, I
happen to
don't.
know.
I'm trying to look. I'm looking through here. I didn't write down any of that stuff. I wrote down a lot of other shit. But I just going back to one thing I did say when Chet took that other level. So grim psychometry was what he got last time. This time he gets dark augmentation, and it's really neat. He gets to augment. Oh crap! I told myself I was going to write it down yesterday. I forgot.
You got to do it in the moment, man.
I know. I should have written it down. It's a really neat one. It's only gonna come up in combat, but it's a big one. It lets him something about it's a blood hunter thing. It lets him for the lycanthrope thing when it lets him regen. That's what it is.
Oh.
He regenerates hit points now at the beginning of his turn, and it does something good with his bloodlust. So when he goes under half hit points, he goes into bloodlust,
right,
and he might attack his friends. It helps that. It's a buff. It's a buff against that, and it lets him regen every time he's in his. It's a pretty cool one. It's really
great because it keeps you away from having to do the roll.
Yeah,
and then
that's the idea. You've gained some mastery over you. Oh, and he gets 2 per long rest now, not just 1, which is also huge. So that's a big moment.
That was my next question was it's not just something that happens. You have to say I'm going to use what is it called?
Dark augmentation.
Dark augmentation. So he has to claim it. He has to say, all right.
No, I think it just happens.
It's just
so he starts
thing?
at the beginning of every turn. He regenerates a number of hit points. I forget what it is, and he gets to use his hybrid form. He gets to turn into a werewolf twice now, twice per long rest. Yeah, it's a big.
Okay. So it's a passive skill that allows. Oh,
yes.
Man.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Damn. Yeah.
Grim psychometry is cool. It gives him a lot of info, but this one actually helps him a lot.
Quite a bit.
Yep.
That's exciting.
Sorry. That was just I just wrote that down and I was like, oh yeah, there it is. I wrote down a lot of fucking notes this weekend.
That's fine. You got another one for ESN? I've only got one more thing written down.
I do. It's funny. I'm like, oh, there it is at 2 hours. So right after that, it's like there's the find the path discussion again, and then the blah blah blah, and they can't.
We're kind of jumping all over the place, but
kind of. Yeah.
Usually happens after the 2 weeks.
The
scatterbrained.
Okay, right. So this goes back to I'm going to go back to Fern. I don't remember if I talked about this last week. I feel like I did. They go down the chasm and they get to the mountains, right? This just after the break. They get to the mountain thing and they're like, yeah, there's this huge chasm. And I love the way Matt describes these things again. It's wonderful.
Yeah, he's so good at
it. They're like, okay, I'm going to we all just jump and I will feather fall us all. And then okay, I'm going to fly down there. Spoonbill. And I was like, okay.
But they waited a minute though first, right?
And yeah, they did. They're talking about this, but it was this whole thing about it's like, okay, I'm going to fly. I'm going to wild shape. I'm going to feather fall everybody else. We're all just going to sort of tumble into the hole. Yeah. They have teleport. They have Mr. has teleport. Fiery teleport. Not only does it like help them to bounce, because he can do it a number of times. I forget what the number is. Or maybe you can just keep doing it. Fiery teleport. They could get all the way down. It not only like bamf, like Nightcrawler style, all the way down. They would get. I think if she had taken the next level in Druid, then they would be every time they teleport, they would be healing. They would be healed from the fire magic. That's what the next level in Druid Wildfire Circle does.
Oh, I see.
So when they use the fiery teleport, it's like bam, a bunch of hit points, bam, a bunch of hit points, bam, a bunch of hit points, all the way down.
I wonder though. I mean, how far can you teleport? Is it like 30
feet? It's not
feet?
far. It's like 60 feet, but you just keep teleporting. Bam,
well, yeah,
bam,
but do you
bam,
maintain
bam.
your momentum? That's the question.
You think that's ever been a problem for them before?
Well, I mean, with the goldfish for sure.
Yeah.
If it's like Portal, where you like have this hole here and then this hole here, like with Orum's situation, I think he would maintain momentum. In which case,
yeah, I don't know. Would you?
I don't know. I mean, if you can't see it, maybe that would be a problem. But on land, sure, yeah. It's like, hey, just teleport across the river. There we go. And we got some hit points.
If you're all holding hands, doesn't matter.
Yeah, can that happen? That fiery teleport?
know.
Is it not just
That's
one
what it says.
person?
I
Yeah?
think that's one of those things. It's like, yeah, we're getting creative with this. What happens? Okay. And then what happens? And then worst case scenario, just two people just cast featherfall, poof, poof, and then you just float all the way down.
You got dimension.
Or just image it, just like, okay, I'm going to fall a little bit, cast fly. And Fern's like, I'm going to wild shape. But at that point, that's when you can do it.
Does anybody have dimension door?
Not yet. No, nobody took it. There's no wizards.
Yet.
That's a bard / wizard. It's a cleric spell. I don't believe it's a sorcerer spell.
Well, yeah, so Scanlan had it.
Yes, because he got it. It's not a bard spell. He got it because at 8th level, 14th level, 8th level 12, 8, 12, 14, I forget, 8, 14, 18 maybe, you get to choose spells out of any of the books. And that's where, I think at 8 he chose Bigby's Hand because bards do not get Bigby's Hand. And I think he took Dimension Door after that, and a couple of others that were. They're not bard spells.
And who else had Dimension Door?
Jester.
Okay.
It's a cleric. It's a cleric spell.
Right. Where we at? Is it me? You? I've got one thing left here.
Oh, I have a yes end. I
got
distracted. No, that was my yes end. My yes end was that they should be using the fiery teleport all the way down.
Oh,
that's
sure.
That's my sort of my yes end because I get frustrated. They're splitting up. They just keep splitting up, and that bugs me. It's like, don't split the party. Stop it. You should all be together doing these big things.
Haven't gotten it figured out yet.
You never know what you're going to encounter at this place at the bottom of the tree.
Rollies.
The chasm.
Rollies. With a 3.
18 again. That's an 18, 14, 18 for me.
Oh, jeez. Sweating in here, man.
Okay.
Desktop is hot.
Here we go. I'm getting into lore here. Man, Travis's reaction when he said when he says that when Efterin, that's the leader of the Shari, that's Ashton's dad, when he says that he showed him the relic he was fated to own to usher in a renewed ancient power. I showed him to the necropolis of Toromunda. Travis's reaction when he said Toromunda, I don't know if you were watching that or not, but
no.
Holy crap, he grabs, because Marisha sits right beside him, he grabs Marisha and shakes her, and then they're just like, wah! They're all freaking out, and Sam's like, what? And he's like, we're there too. So the three of them, Travis, Marisha, and Sam, were all in EXU together, EXU Calamity.
Oh, and right.
Toromunda.
That's how I know that name.
Right.
Okay.
Toromunda is the upstairs downstairs. That was Toromunda is the city, the village, the encampment of Gaudrashari that were at the base of Mount Igora.
Jeez.
And then when the wizard Porco, whatever his name was, Marisha's character's grandfather, he cut the top of the mountain off and then flew it away, and it became Avalier, and then Cathmoira became the ring city at the bottom. But before that happens, it was all called Toromunda.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
That's why that seemed so familiar.
Right. Huh. And yeah. So he's like, I was the steward of Toromunda. That was my whole thing. And when I saw the wizards come and I signed the grand deal to cut the mountain in half and fly the thing away. And I didn't realize, I was sort of like looking this up and looking on the Wikipedia and the reason they were able to fly the mountain away is because it was filled with brimstone. It was all just brimstone inside of it. So it's all filled with that. That's how it was able to float away. The wizards knew that, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. Let's just slice it in half and fly it away. It'll be easy. And build our wizard city on the top of it.
So that brimstone doesn't need to be treated or anything. It's just, if you know how to do it.
It just floats, and then you just enchant it with simple enchantments, and it floats away.
Which they all had back in those days.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly.
All pretty powerful.
So I thought it was kind of interesting, and then he starts going on and on and on about the remaining shard. He tells the father where the remaining shard is, the Kamort. This is, and so he goes to the necropolis and gets it, and then he does this ritual, and this is where things get real fun. Created Ashton.
Yeah.
So this is my big thing. Was Ashton his son, or was Ashton a human before, and then when he gets this piece of shard, he becomes a Earth Genasi?
Mm-hmm. And also, when he was saved, didn't they say that there was like this gray stuff potion? They just threw it in, and it happened to be the thing that saved his life, or whatever.
Well, that was what's his name? That was Milo in Dressar. That he was like, they brought him back to the workshop, and they're like, your brain's broken, so you dumped this shit in there and tried to fix it, and that's where he got the
Hail Mary.
That's where he got the rage barbarian power, dunamancy powers, because he gets that potion of probability put inside.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did figure out what that was. So
that he had already been created or transformed. They talked a little bit about this at the very end of the episode, saying like, were you created, or were you transformed from something else into what you are now?
Yeah.
So in my sort of mind, did you ever watch the Fantastic Four remake where they went up into space? It was in the I don't know, a number of years ago, a couple of decades ago maybe. And the Fantastic Four go up into space as normal humans, and then they encounter this anomaly, and then they come back they all transform. It reminded me of the Ben Grimm story. He's the Thing, where he's up and he's the big guy, right? Big bald dude. And he goes up into space, and there's a little bit of sand in the shuttle with him, or in his life support pod or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it goes through the anomaly, and the little bit of sand gets transfused all over his body, and he becomes the Thing, the big orange rock monster thing. That's kind of what this reminded me. I'm like, was he just a regular normal kid? And then his father jams this relic of the shard of Kamort into him, and he turns into stone. Permanently, and everybody dies. And then they find the baby out in the desert in the waste somewhere, and they bring him to the orphanage. I don't know.
This little rock baby.
Right, little rock baby. It's super weird. I mean, there are other Earth Genasi. We've met them before. What's his name? The one of the members of the Cerberus Assembly, mm-hmm. the one that loved all the animals. What was his name?
I don't remember.
That guy. He loves animals so much. He was an Earth Genasi.
Huh. Yeah. I didn't remember that detail at all. Mm. But I did love that he loved the animals so much.
Yeah.
And they were able to do that to get him to be convinced to, give more information and et cetera.
Yeah. They're like, here, hold this familiar for a little while.
By the way, here's this.
Here's a weasel.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
From that really stony interface to just a puddle of pebbles, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot in there about Ashton. I kind of forgot.
Yeah.
I'm getting some of it mixed up too.
Taliesin was really on point on this one. He was, from the very beginning of the episode, I wrote a little note at the first page of my notes, just saying about how he's really on. He was really either very caffeinated or just fired up and just ready to go. His attitude was good, and he was sort of involved in a lot of the conversations. I really enjoyed following along. Sometimes he can be off. When Tal is off, he sort of sits off on the side and just makes comments every once in a while, and it's sort of, you're just like, yeah, and even the rest of the cast, they can tend to ignore him. Mm-hmm. But he was really on point for this one, and I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I didn't get a chance to finish the second half. I'm gonna finish that after we get off here, but I'll keep that in mind this time too, because I know it's mostly just like.
Well, this is all his backstory. Everything here is his backstory. It's all about him.
So I wonder if that makes him super nervous, so he's having extra coffee.
He's a little bit of extra. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
For show.
Okay, and I think that the one last thing I want to say about this is
I've got one more thing.
The comment that he makes, the spark of Rao Shan burns in the heart of the. This was a lot of. I wrote this one down because it's a big name drop. A spark of Rao Shan burns in the heart of the Chinese Ma, a volcanic mass on the island of Ichthuldus, within the side of the Athos peak. That was a big one. So
There's a lot of information there.
Yep, there's a ton. And the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, I will have to write these down next time. And I did. And then he says what the most interesting thing for the entire thing was. Holding two in one vessel might sunder it. You bear the dormant strength of the strength of the Empress. There's the confirmation. So Ashton, does have the shard. I mean, we knew it, but we didn't know it, right? It's like one of those things that, well, speculation, and then bam, there it is. Now we know for sure that Ashton has the shard of the Empress in him. He's got the power, and now they're going to go get the spark of Rao Shan, the Emperor, and we're going to combine them all, and then he's going to become who the fuck knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they cancel each other out and he goes back to a normal person. That'd be weird.
that would be very strange. It'd be that'd be kind of annoying, frankly. Because they say, like, if you do this, then you unleash the power of the Empress, the Emperor, whatever, and then you can find the true power or whatever.
It's gonna make a lot of people very upset because already a lot of people on the internets believe that Ashton's barbarian build is too powerful. And I'm one of them.
It's pretty fucking powerful, man.
Yep. It's probably more powerful than a regular barbarian is. It's because it with the roll of a dice, he can eliminate all of the weaknesses of the barbarian class. Yes, you're lucky. It's a 25% chance, but that wormhole strike and even the gravity one and they're all very situational, but they all are very powerful. So
what is it called? The reality one or the probability one?
Yeah, he named them all in the four-sided dive.
Yeah, and I believe it was the one I'm thinking of is the rainbow one was the probability. I believe he called it. He said reality, and he's like, no, it's probability. But who knows? Maybe he's wrong.
I hope he releases it someday. Just for clarification, not that I'd ever want to try it. I hope so. I'd like to see the build. I would like to see the notes and see what the progression is, just so I can take a look at it for myself and be like, oh, that's really cool. Then you can watch the show again and sort of go like, oh yeah, okay.
Guess which one he rolled, or you can notice which one he
rolled. And you
can
see, and you'll be like, okay, that means this and this, and then you can sort of fall, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. I mean, there's you wonder. You're like, because they do make mistakes, and you're like, oh, you made a mistake there. You should have done it this way, or because it's have a new class. You never know.
Yeah, and with that one with the rainbow thing, it's like 10 or 15 feet within 10 or 15 feet of him.
You get advantage,
like bless basically.
It's like a roving bless. Yeah.
Yep. Which it's like that shouldn't come out in a four-sided dive. That should come out in the game. Be like, I rolled this. That means, guys, that if you're within this, I don't remember if he did that or not.
I think he did a couple of times. I think he said, but I think there were a few of those moments when he rolled it, it never really came into play because he tends to he doesn't do the normal barbarian thing in combat. He doesn't stay in one place and just smash things. He roves around a lot, so it never really comes into play. He takes off and does weird things.
Yeah,
so
it's fun to watch.
He plays a very good chaotic barbarian.
Mm. Yeah, it's fun to watch.
As opposed to a very rational, quiet, sane barbarian.
Go.
Your turn.
A little more on the is this you won.
I rolled an 18.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to continue on with this before I do my final thing there. With the tree advice, that's the end of the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
It said it was giving advice about like what your biggest weapon. They kept on asking over and over again, how do we defeat lewdness, and they weren't getting good answers.
I've got the questions here. Yep.
And so like one of the pieces of advice was a powerful thing would be friendship. Mm-hmm. And he's speaking slowly like the elder ent or whatever it was. And then trust. And then I was waiting for him to say unity. Because that really ties back into what they said, like they're trying to break people apart, and that would be the best thing is to get people back together. Maybe that's why people were shunted, and maybe Matthew left the word unity out on purpose so they could fill in the blanks themselves, but that's definitely where I went with it.
Cool. That's a good take. I didn't go anywhere with it. I wasn't even thinking there might be another one. I was just sort of like, okay, that makes sense. This is very vague, but you could put things. Every time I hear somebody prophesizing, I just go to straight. My brain goes straight to horoscopes and tarot cards, and I'm just like, yeah, you can make them really sound like anything you want, can't you? So that's where I go on those things. But yeah, that's a good take. I like that. Unity. Good. Yeah, sure.
That's what it reminded me of for sure. And yeah, it's powerful. And it's a nice, it's a theme, like with Grog in the first campaign. It's like, where do you find your strength,
Right. And then Yasha, where do you find your strength? I caught that as well. And my brain went to that point as well, because those were two very poignant parts in their character growth and development. Both barbarians. Where do you find your strength? Where do you find your strength? And then this is Ashton's quest. He's the barbarian.
Oh, good point.
Where do you find your strength? That's where, I was like, oh, right. And then is he going to be presented with that perhaps soon? Will Matt do the trifecta? And when he's trying to get the spark, where do you find your strength?
And then he turns into an emperor's powerful Titan. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows, man? Blood of the Titan.
Oh,
right?
Man, you think he's going to get like Titan Knuckle type of,
or is he going to be Titan
Knuckles? Or is he going to be, he just becomes a set of gloves?
I don't know. That gets weird.
Am I yes-anding? I forgot. I lost track.
No, that you were yes-anding. I'm going to say, but you said that's your last one, right?
No, that was a note that I had from discussion.
Okay. So let's do a rolling thing, because I got one more big point that I want to talk.
Let's do one more rolling.
Let's do the one more rolling and call it.
With a 5. This fucking
natural die. 9. Oh, what did you get?
5.
5. Oh,
this die, it's so bad. How is it so consistently bad? And this one's consistently good.
No.
Travis Juju, Matthew Juju.
This is what I need to know.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
The very end of the episode. At 3:53:38.
Timestamp.
Lewdness. Lewdness should be stopped.
Yes. Actually, I had to go back on that. I thought he said shouldn't be first.
What the fuck is up with that?
What do you mean?
But up until that point, the tree of Entrevere has been so purposefully vague on all of these things, and then wham! No! You gotta fuck that guy. You gotta stop him. Yeah. Like what?
That's why it stood out so much. I was like, wait, what?
So much.
What did you say?
And then 5 seconds later, we're being watched. Hey, somebody's scrying on you.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Shit. Well, guess who's scrying? Oh, sorry, the spoilers. That's at the very end.
No, I did see it. I just didn't catch it.
Oh, right. So then right at the end, he's like, someone's scrying on you, and they turn and they look, and there's a scry ball up there that he's made visible, and then he dispels it. He's like, okay, now you have to go. Opens up the portal, and they leave. Right. So that's the very end of the episode. And I'm like, well, what the fuck was that? Was that Matt just saying, hey, Lewdness is watching you, so you got to stop. Here, you got to stop Lewdness. Oh, by the way, he's watching you right now. So I'm like, okay, was that Lewdness? We don't know. No idea if that was Lewdness, but it makes sense if it was him. Mm-hmm. Well, who else would it be? Chat was pretty funny on this one. Somebody in chat yells out, Kiki's watching, and then somebody else like, it could just be Prism checking you guys out, because she promised that she would keep an eye on you guys. Mm-hmm. It could be a lot of things, right? No idea. There is no way to reverse engineer a scry spell. You can't. It's not like Star 69. You can't go back and figure out who it was.
Right. You can block it. Yeah. Which is probably why they haven't gotten the Dirt Wizard. Mm-hmm. Or they might be dead. Fuck.
They could be dead. We don't know.
I'm actually kind of hoping that they are. I know how macabre that sounds, but it just makes for really good, impactful storytelling.
Oh, dude, with the day that they find out that Bo and Caleb are dead, will be a lot of tears at that table.
Yeah, but they can't really show it in game because didn't really care.
No, but they will be upset.
Just like all of us are going to be.
I can already hear the echoing screams by Danny Carr in the wings.
In the back. Yeah.
She will. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, if she comes storming out with a shoe and hits Matt in the face.
She's gonna slip her. Matthew, no.
No! How dare you?
That would make perfect sense, and
I love that. I love that kind of passion about imaginary games that are imaginary characters in an imaginary game about imagination. Yeah, it's so good. The passion is unparalleled.
Yeah, with the scrying, I hope Matthew keeps this in mind. I know you're watching, Matthew. is that they don't have any defense towards scrying, do they?
No.
So if anybody has interest, they can just follow them.
Yeah.
And like in the future conversations, they can be like, well, yeah, I saw you meet with the tree, or whoever that was. Just anytime, just be like, what are these people doing? And also, why would Ludinus scry on them unless it was like her mom wanted her to or something,
maybe, or because he does know that they fought. Like Matt said this on a Four-Sided Dive a bunch of times ago, that that they didn't destroy the Malleus Key, but they fucked it up badly enough that it didn't do what Ludinus wanted. Yeah. So they are in Ludinus's eyes. He came back to meet them in Eos, remember? Yeah. Like he ran into them and he's like, fuck you guys, you're trouble. Like they're persons of interest for him. So maybe he is keeping an eye on them.
There's a lot to remember, which means a lot to forget, Well, I'm going to go ahead and yes and then. I don't think there was an answer for this yet, but did we find out what the fuck is going on with Chet? Why he sounds all poetic right now?
No, I think they sort of addressed it at the beginning.
Of the new place.
That's what Sam says. FCG is like, maybe he's just excited about being in a new place. He's all full of, whatever, blah, blah.
That was like 2 episodes ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he said it again. This one as well. I think it's a combination of a bunch of things. I think he's just excited about it. I think he's excited to play with his friends. I think he's
Travis.
Yeah, I think it's just Travis doing Travis. Like he's like, the grind is hard, and my Thursday nights are the time that I get. Although these aren't Thursday nights anymore, they're all pre-recorded. But his time at his D&D at the D&D table is 4 hours. 5. It probably is. The whole thing is probably 6 hours from start to finish for them. So it's like a solid 6-hour deal for them where they get away from the world and get away from their regular jobs, and they probably take an entire day to do this. I wouldn't be surprised if they do like the first half in the morning. They go to work, they get ready, they set everything up, they do the first half in the morning, they take a lunch break, and then they come back and do the second half. Maybe not always. Maybe they do them all in one go, but
perhaps. Man, I thought I saw a continuity thing where I thought they recorded the intro after the episode. I don't think, did I say that last time?
You did. It didn't make any sense to me, so I just sort of let you say whatever you wanted.
Yeah, it was like they referred to a joke in the intro that happened during the episode or something like that. And I was like, what? And then I watched it again and it seemed to make sense. Yeah, anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was a reverse callback. I'm like, I don't think that's how they work, but sure.
Yeah. Can you imagine the, what do they call
manifesting?
And the NDAs of the producers and the, on the staff. They're like, hey, which one did you record today? It's like, we're up to 80 now. They're like, what happens? We're like, can't tell you, but I know some shit,
you have to tune in to watch. Yeah.
How, like, you got to tell someone, being like married to one of those people. You go home, make sure there's no cameras or scries, and then tell each other in pillow talk, I don't know if that would be good or bad.
It reminds me of the story that just came out. This is so dumb. When Donald Trump was president in 2017, there was an Australian billionaire that came to visit Mar-a-Lago in 2017, and Trump told him nuclear secrets about the nuclear submarine fleet that are like top secret things that this billionaire isn't supposed to know. Yeah. And it was about like how many. What was it? It was about how many nuclear warheads are on the submarines and how close they can get to Russian submarines. And that was like, these are national secrets. And he's just telling this dude who then went apparently and told 45 other people. Yeah.
Way to go, America. Nice job, everybody.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get fucking weird about it, but it's a parallel, right? It's like you're not supposed to tell people everything. Yeah. Sometimes internal voices are internal voices. You keep them in there.
Some people can grasp it, some people can't.
Man. Anyway. Hey, dude, I'm about done. That's about it for me on this long weekend of Taiwan's birth.
Yeah, I don't have work tomorrow until about 1:30, so I'm going to finish the second half, have a couple of beers.
Nice.
I woke up late today, so I won't be able to go to sleep early anyway.
I didn't sleep last night, so I just want bed. That's all I want.
I didn't plan on staying up so late, but something came up.
Always does.
They might be watching. I was gonna say something. Maybe I'll wait until next time. But I was gonna say a little something about Midst, so I'm gonna save that.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked briefly about Midst.
I think I have it written right here on the top, but if I don't put it in the list of things, it just doesn't come up.
Let's just maybe just hold on to it for next. Oh boy, what did I just
hold on
do?
for next
I
week.
just
Yeah, we're already
clicked
an hour and a half, or hour and 5 minutes into this.
Yep.
I was expecting a short one today. That happens all the time, but it never happens.
That's what she said.
I just said always, never, same sentence. We always think it might be shorter, but it never happens. Oh, well, geez, yeah, so I'll save the mitts for next week. Now, let's see. Guess that's it. Okay, yeah, so if we're full of shit, or if you have something to add, comments. Oh, man, I didn't check comments for this week. Did you?
There weren't any. Yep, there weren't.
Oh, okay, cool.
Silent, quiet this week. It's all good. I was on it. I'm making notes these times when I see them. I'm making notes.
Nice. Yeah, it's usually kind of quiet when we come back after the 2-week break, because like, oh yeah, I forgot about that show.
Yeah, but please comment. We like your comments.
Yeah, we always do. So get in touch down here if you have something to
there.
add, something to correct. If we're, say that, Ben's hair looks great today, whatever it is. Don't forget to check out my new album. ShapeMaster is on all streaming platforms. Follow him at bengreenspoon on all socials. Follow me at drummatucka. I just use Instagram. And I've got some shows coming up soon, but I need to confirm those dates. Yeah, that'll be next week when I do that. And hey, dude, if nothing else, did I forget anything? I don't think so.
Nope. We're good.
Okay, cool. All right, well then, until next time, don't forget to love each other. And is it finally Friday? Peace, everybody. Bye-bye.
Peace.